what do you think will happen? They will give an invoice which is different amount from your purchase order, or what can happen? Because you already paid them, let's say, then never issue credit note or debit note. So in discount given, but in actual fact, never captured in the system. Correct? Correct or not? Yeah, that is already a problem, right? It's already a problem, right? So when you get discount, you must capture. So whose mistake is that? The person who received verbal instruction. So tell your suppliers, if they are giving you discount, they must issue a credit note. Yes. Yeah, then you also can reduce your TX, right? Your input tax. And then 0 lah. Credit note must follow the invoice. Whole month sales means normally you must attribute. You must attribute, definitely you must segregate. See, the credit note is for what? Why they are giving the discount? Prompt payment discount. Okay, they can give you credit note which is fully standard rated because you got both type of supplies, right? From the same supplier. Yeah, they can give you a standard rated discount. But better for them to give you a standard rated discount. Because it will reduce your input tax. They separate. Separate is good lah. Better. Can also. That is the best way of doing. If not, better to just charge overall. Because you pay more is better than pay less. You understand her question, right? You all understand her question, right? She says if you receive prompt payment discount, how is it treated? Prompt payment, they also must segregate according to standard rated or 0 rated items. Okay? So if it's 6% discount or 10% discount, they again must list down all the item and give 10%, 6%, and then according to the product. Yes. So then they can give you a total. They can give based on total. Total of so much of banana I sold to you this month. Oh, you claim with the supplier. Okay, so one. So one person, one side you give credit note, the other side debit note lah. Yeah, if not, you don't need to issue tax invoice. Let them just issue a credit note to you lah. Same thing what? Then already 0 what? Yes. No, you must issue to your customer tax invoice. What you issue to supplier tax invoice? For that amount. Okay, then you don't need to issue tax invoice. Actually, you can give him a statement, like a summary. Issue a credit note. One document only you use. Why you use 2 documents? Or they want tax invoice to key in their system. Correct. That one, yes, must. That one must. You asking me for discount, now you go to rental already. 2 different treatment. Discount, credit note is the best. Okay? Credit note is the best. Alright? Rental. You hold on. Sandy, she didn't take her.
Oh, she's going back, is it?
Yeah, she told me she's going back at 3:30. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Can I?
Oh.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, yeah, continue. Discount. Okay. The thing is, for discount, no need to issue tax invoice. No need, not necessary. As long as your supplier gives you credit note, one document is to go. You can recognize credit note. If they don't want, then no choice, then you can give your supplier a debit note. Correct. You don't need to give another new tax invoice. If you really want to give tax invoice, then it will become a sales to you. When it becomes a sales, the figure is not correct. That's why I don't want you to use it as a tax invoice. You understand where I'm coming from? It doesn't make sense because that same item you already sold to your customer cheaper rate. You are charging your supplier for the difference. Okay lah, in total it will become your sales also lah. Same story lah. Because here you already get lesser sales from your customer, so you compensate with the sales from your supplier lah. You can take it like that lah. Can. It's okay. Yeah, you can do that way. Rental. Okay. Okay.
So they said they need to generate a CN from the system.
For?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
And then they pass me the CN.
Okay.
So which document I need?
Why they give you CN? Are they buying from you?
Uh,
Or your dealing with them is only rental?
yes.
Only rental.
It was that we have rental from the condo.
Correct.
And then we purchase goods from them.
Correct. So that means you are buying from them as well. That means it's got two-way sales. That's why they give you credit note. Lah.
So I need
So that means you issuing tax invoice is correct because you are capturing your income. Okay. Then they want to tell you that I'm not going to pay you money. So I issue credit note to you. You contra with the amount that you must pay me because you are buying from them as well.
so I just attach the
You have to attach both. Correct. You attach their credit note with your tax invoice because they are not going to pay you money.
So in my system only my tax invoice will pay.
Yes. And then the credit note you must key in also lah, as customer credit note. You key in, then only when you sell or you buy from that person, you can knock off the amount.
Not off, but we using my tax invoice.
Also can.
So the
Yeah.
credit
Credit note
note I never
keep it as an attachment, yes. Yeah.
Some of it I return.
Oh, no, better keep as attachment, proof that they accept. If no proof, then you are actually doing yourself, ma. Whether they agree or they don't agree, you're doing yourself.
The signature.
Exactly. So because they're not paying you money for it. So if the customs officer asks you why you issue tax invoice mana itu payment, you can show credit note. No, dia kontra dengan dia punya barang. I so beli dari dia ada invoice. So this is the credit note for their invoice. So you can show them evidence and tell a story lah. Okay? Yes. Yeah. Correct. Correct. You must issue the whole amount subject to GST. Correct. Yes. Yes. It doesn't matter. That is payment only. You also must minus bank charges when you key in your system. No need. When you key in payment, right? When you key in your receipt for 1,000, you key in bank charges. In every official receipt, there is also bank charges for credit card payments. Yes, in the official receipt itself. There is receipt amount, and then how much your customer owe you, and there is bank charges. So usually you receive 1,000, but 20 ringgit goes for bank charges. But your customer will knock off 1,000. But from the 1,000, 20 ringgit go for bank charges. Then when you look at your bank recon, you see only 980. So the system will do that automatically. Yeah, that is you issue 1,000, but when you key in official receipt, payments received, correct. Then you key in 1,000 ringgit payment received, bank charges 20 ringgit. In the same interface, same screen, you go and check back, sure got one. When you receive payment, sure got bank charges there. Maybe you never utilize it. If you don't have that function, your vendor, your software vendor must activate that function. Bank charges for received payments by credit card. Definitely got. No need. No such thing.
Under this person,
No, you just invoice as usual to that guy. Then when you receive your payment, you minus the bank charges, that's all. You don't have to issue another tax invoice to the bank. No need.
because I don't issue tax invoice to this guy.
Oh, okay. You only issue one time tax invoice for one sale. Okay? No multiple issue invoice all. Okay. Keeping good records is frequently an issue. Okay, so now you all are clear about that. What may trigger an audit? Businesses with significant refunds that are out of ordinary, which I already told you all the story lah. Okay, suddenly you got a refund, you always know refund, suddenly got refund, sure they suspect. Okay, anything that you do, ordinary business, they're okay. Suddenly something thorough happen, definitely it will trigger audit. Okay? Yes. Okay, pre-assessment, this one you can read lah. Before you are being assessed, what you need to know. Okay, who will likely be the audit target market? One, it will be randomly selected, so from a computer generated list. Another one, they can have audit projects. They can test on a particular group of taxpayers, particularly if there is reason to believe that there is significant non-compliance within a group. Okay, they can go on basis of risk assessment. Okay, like high risk industries. You know which is high risk? Manufacturing. Manufacturing higher risk than any other industry. Manufacturing high risk, transportation high risk, travel and tours. After that only come to other people. Supermarket, because they already know supermarket got stringent process. They already went through all the process before they started. So now they don't audit them so much. Later they will come back to them. But the one that kena a lot is manufacturing. Because manufacturing, what happens is, they are for them lah, not for me lah. I'm not the one saying this lah. Their risk is higher because they always use a lot of raw materials, coming up with new things. So the components of stock is a trigger matter here, inventory. A lot of manufacturing company got no proper system to control their inventory. So I don't know lah, maybe your company good, then it's okay. As long as you got evidence and everything is good. But a lot of manufacturing companies suffer from that, inventory control. That is one of their weakness. Don't have proper inventory control. So every time got too much of adjustment to stock one. And then their work in progress, how do they what do you call the account for work in progress? Too many adjustments, okay, all these issues lah. Other than that, nothing lah. It's nothing serious, but normally they like to audit. Maybe money is a lot also lah. Okay, leads as a result of other audit investigation as well as information from outside sources. Okay, their main source is income tax. Okay, the main source is income tax. So if let's say income tax declaration, every time you declare low income, now suddenly you declare high income, that can feed information to customs. This guy every time has been declaring 1 million. Now with GST started, when he suddenly declared 2 million. That means all this while doing wrongly. Now they do correct lah. Correct no? Right? It can trigger a lot of areas, so can be a lead. Secondary files, a business may be selected for audit if it is associated with another file that is being reviewed for audit, since the tax auditor often finds it convenient to look at all records at the same time. So sometimes if let's say another company happened to be your customer, but that company got a lot of issues, so I'm investigating that company. Then I see they buy a lot from your company. So what happened is they decide, okay, better we audit this supplier company also. Then they come into your place for audit. Alright, but they won't tell you, I'm auditing your customer. They won't tell you, but because of the audit that they're doing in the customer's place, it becomes a lead to them. They feel that, oh, okay, linked. Or because this fellow is buying a lot from you, they see your tax invoice all there, right? Then they want to see how are you accounting for it. So that becomes a trigger point for them to come to your company and audit. Alright? So actually it's very important to know who you deal with also. Okay, payment, GST is considered to be money held in trust, and so any assessment of tax is due when assessed. Make sure you pay on time, don't get penalties because of late payment of GST. If the adjustment results in additional tax owing, there are likely to be interest charges as well. GST must be paid in full even while an appeal is is underway. The requirement can create an onerous cash flow burden for organization. Reviews and audits can be stressful for any organization. Okay, what they're saying is, let's say I audit, alright, and then I think you must do some adjustments. You charge wrongly to your client, you charge 0, but actually you must charge standard rated. So, I'm supposed to get income, right? Because you must give me my GST. So, let's say this is pertaining to last year April. So, from last year April to now March, 1 year interest you must pay me for the amount that you wrongly charge and never pay. They will charge you penalty. Penalty for that. Penalty for late payment is based on the amount unpaid. 5% for the first month, then it goes up. 10% second month, 13%, 16, 19, 21, up to 25%. Not much like 25% anymore. Go and tell your director to pay. Okay. Myths of GST audit. You know what's myths, right? Myths, that means rumors or your assumption. You think GST is like that, but actually no. Alright, so let's look at what are the assumptions. The tax auditor only focus on multinational companies and large corporations. This is the first myth. People always think, sure the auditor go for the MNC lah. We all small company, they have no time to audit. That is not true. Because computer can randomly select any company. Okay, doesn't need to be big or small. SME or small companies also can be audited. Second one, we have not received a letter, email or call from the tax authority, so there should be no GST issue. Also not true. Doesn't mean no contact is good news. Okay, it can be your turn not yet come. Okay, you got 7 years more, ma. And now only 1 year complete, so it's another 6 years. Okay, the truth is selection cuts across all GST registered business and tax auditor selects based on list of criteria. Okay, so your turn not yet come, lah. Okay, myth 3, our company auditors did not highlight any GST issues during their annual financial audit. That means our GST returns are in order. Also, another thing to note, not all accountants out there who knows about GST. Okay, not everybody has studied GST and passed exam and become GST consultants. No, it's a specialized thing. It's like auditors are not income tax agents, right? They are not income tax agents. They won't give you tax advice. You go and ask your auditor about income tax, they will tell you refer to the income tax agent. Correct now? They will tell you, I don't want to give you advice. You please request from tax agent. Because everyone specializes in their own jobs. Alright? But you can, so you don't assume that your auditor never highlight GST issues, because auditor will be looking at accounting entries. Your debits, your credits, your financial statements, they are not going to look whether you pay GST correctly or not, your GST tax codes correct or not. They are not bothered. Understand? They are not bothered about that. Okay? So unless you hire an auditor to audit GST for a special purpose, then they will send the specialized person to your company to audit. Of course, the extra fees. Yeah, not free, ma. Don't go and tell you must free, audit for me. Nobody does anything free, right? Okay. If we keep quiet or remain ignorant about the incorrect treatments in our GST, we should be found. No way, If you keep quiet, customs tell you it's wrong, you keep quiet, it's not fine. If you know something is wrong, please correct it. Okay, that's the purpose of the course. Okay, anybody got anything, like a lot of corrections to be done, take note of it, go back, correct it. Find out further. You understand? So don't keep quiet about it. Disclosing incorrect GST treatments will result in fines and hefty penalties. Okay, if the lower or no penalties apply when incorrect GST treatments are corrected immediately and disclosed voluntarily. If you correct yourself, there will be lesser penalty or maybe no penalty. Because you already know about it, you correct yourself. That's why I say if it's last time GST account code you wrongly put in, don't worry about it. Now you correct, now you do it correctly. Alright, so at least you voluntarily, if they ask also, you tell, yes, what happened was before I did it wrongly, then I find out, I go for training, I learn this, I do it now correctly. They are fine one. You understand not? Like I told you, everybody's in a learning curve, so it's okay. Alright, so correct it immediately and disclose voluntary. You tell yourself, this is memang I sudah buat salah, sekarang I sudah betul. Then show them evidence how you betulkan. Maybe before you claim block input tax, medical expenses, you don't know, accidentally key in and claim already TX code. So now what you must do? Refund back lah. Correct or not? You must put an adjustment entry, refund back the money that you claim because you wrongly claimed. So if they come and check last year's GST returns, you can tell them, no, I claimed wrongly, but I corrected, I paid back already, I did adjustment current year. Okay? No problem. As long as you realize your mistake, you correct it, you disclose yourself. Understand? Okay. GST training is expensive. Our staff is competent. We have attended free seminar. We know about basic GST, just file tax return on time, pay and claim GST only. Is this true? I must ask you. Is it true? But I still hear this from a lot of companies, Yeah, customs got free seminar, 3-hour seminar. I already attended that. You think it's enough? Of course not enough, correct? No, GST is a lot to study. What you study in 2 days or so, I would say 5-10% only. Okay, because we are not going specifically to every topic. Correct or not? We are handling what is today's issues. We are talking about issues only, correct or not? You really want to do learn GST, we have to go at least 6 days to 7 days course. Learn section by section. Correct? Then only you can actually know the whole picture. That's what we do. And then we sit for exam. But you're not sitting for exam, so you don't need to know so much. Yes?
So we cannot go back to the file and adjust. We only have to go through adjustment.
Yes.
They can refer to that one, that
Yes.
section.
Yes.
Voucher, that.
Exactly. Now payback, correct. Now payback. Now do an adjustment journal entry, but put the code AJP or whatever, and then, or AJS, supposed to be output tax, you pay back, and then you pay it back. Now you do the entry. You don't have to, don't go back to that time, because that one submitted, closed, actually by right, you cannot edit, cannot touch it already, yes. Or tax code, you change that one, no problem, because it's not affecting the amounts. But when you affect amount, better to do it current period. Okay. The errors most commonly rise from lack of awareness of GST rules and all that. So wrong application of GST treatment. Okay. Now claiming GST on disallowed expenses such as motor car purchase, maintenance. These are all the common mistakes done lah. Alright, you claim GST without valid tax invoice. Not accounting for GST on provision of gifts. Not charging GST on disposal of business asset. Example, disposal of commercial property. You know already. Commercial property subject to GST. Okay. Another thing, residential property. Let's say you got a house that you give your staff to stay. Anybody got the situation? Staff accommodation? I don't have time, only tell you story lah. No, I wanted to say, if let's say you got such a property, then when you supply aircons, when you supply fridge, supply things for the house, it is all standard rated. You understand? Only the house by itself is exempted. But anything else that you buy is standard rated, but you cannot claim back the input tax. Why? Because it is meant for the house. If it is used for the office, you can claim back input tax. But if it's used for your staff house, the accommodation, you cannot claim back the input tax. You understand? Yes.
How about the mattress, dining table?
Same. Oh, you buy for hostel, same. Staff accommodation. But you put under company asset.
Some of it put under staff welfare.
Staff welfare, then you cannot claim the input tax lah. Because if you, then you expense it up lah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Of course. So staff welfare. Because it doesn't, they don't say block for staff welfare under these type of category items. So if you claim, I think shouldn't be a problem for now lah. They won't.
But is it total that all the fixes
Correct. That one you are not entitled to claim. Not blocked, but because it's related to residential property. So by right you shouldn't be claiming. it's used for your company. Because they take the whole thing as exempt supply. Unless you're charging your staff for rental. You can only claim if you charge your staff rental. Like you see, sometimes you give the house, provide the house for your staff, like director, and then you charge $2,000 rental. Okay lah.
How about if I rent the hostel, the house, actually it's a short lot.
Shop lot, that means when you charge rental, you charge GST lah.
Don't charge.
Why?
The one who owns the shop,
Okay.
not a registered person.
Oh, not your company, what?
No,
Then okay.
And
Then okay.
the thing I buy for the hostel,
I see. So you just expense out lah.
just
Yeah, correct. Then it doesn't matter. This is when the property belongs to you. Property belongs to you, of course you have to be more careful lah. Somebody else's property, the one, all staff welfare lah, expenses. But the staff welfare part, you better be careful because you might want to write it somewhere in your employee handbook or what you provide for your staff. Then you can claim. So if you put it in your handbook that mattresses are given, just like uniforms,
just like
one-off thing lah.
yeah, just say that you have a hostel with
Furnished.
cannot.
Normally cannot. Because furnitures cannot. Because it's for the hostel, for their own private use, not for business use. So cannot claim. Normally cannot. Yeah. So that's why I'm telling you, if you provide it as a staff benefit and you put it in your employee handbook, then it's okay. But then depends on what you want to list in your employee handbook. You cannot go put kitchen utensils, fridge, washing machine. Correct or not? Doesn't make sense. Then all the employees must be entitled to it. Then also you must see what's the percentage. Like you got 100 employees, but only 20 people entitled to all this. That is not staff benefit, no. Some people always get it wrong. Staff benefit means a benefit must be available to overall everybody. Correct or not? Unless, okay, let's say uniform is given to all staff, but managers and above not necessarily wear the uniform. That is their problem. Correct? But uniform is something which is available to everybody. Sometimes there will be a day of the week, compulsory uniform day. So even your manager or director must wear uniform. Correct? That one particular day lah. So that means you must see staff benefit means they are talking about something that's available to everybody. So when even you deal with hostel, certain people only entitled. Correct? Certain people are not, most of them not entitled. Maybe the workers lah. Put it under staff welfare and expense it lah. For once and for all lah. No GST claimable. If you don't claim GST, they also won't ask you anything. Better. Okay. Okay. So lack of documentation to support zero rating of indirect export of goods and poor internal controls to ensure accurate GST reporting. Okay, so these are all some of the common problems or common mistakes done by company. Alright, other GST errors, not accounting for GST on recovery of expenses from another party. That means, if you get back reimbursement, of course you have to account for it correctly lah. Sometimes people don't account for it. You know why not? Let's say I pay for your hotel. I get the tax invoice under my name, okay? And I claim input tax. Actually, you pay me back, I won't write it. Because I already claim input tax, I don't want to go and put it back there and pay back the input tax. You understand? Because some companies, they want to untung the input tax. So when you pay back the reimbursement, they don't go and declare it to customs again. One way only the story. The other way the story they don't tell. You understand now? So that means they claim based on like this. ABC, XYZ. So ABC invoice, hotel invoice ABC. RM 1000 plus GST 60. Okay? Then ABC will claim this as input tax, correct? Yes? Okay. XYZ now pay back. Pay. what ABC is supposed to do? Yes? Must refund back the 60 to whom? To customs lah, correct or not? Correct? Must refund. So how they will refund? Invoice to XYZ for the same amount, correct or not? Correct or not? Then only this guy can claim. Sometimes this guy not registered, so he don't care. You invoice or you don't invoice, he don't care. He just pay you the 1,060. Correct? Because he's not registered. So you get the 1,060, must well pocket, keep quiet. Why I should tell the 60 ringgit? Correct or not? No need to tell what. But get caught means it's not 60 anymore, no. The 60 already grow very big or anak. Correct or not? Then you'll be paying all one shot. So, you understand what I'm saying? Right? Yes.
Just like the company phone bill, it's under company.
Correct.
So this is for the staff.
Okay.
So the staff exceed because personal phone amount. So it exceed more than the title which is 3. So I bill my colleague extra money that is
Ah.
I think I just issue receipt and take back balance. I did not issue tax invoice.
Okay, but then your GST you claim based on total amount.
The GST is not
Wrong no? So clever So you decide input tax, decide staff also pay you back.
issue a tax invoice.
Yeah, right. And then so you account for SR code ma.
I thought
Then after that, that amount you will capture and pay back to GST DG correctly.
or else I have to minus out the GST amount.
Correct. You only claim input tax for the amount that you are entitled. That means 53, right? So you only claim the 3 ringgit lah. You understand? So anything exceeding it, the total amount paid by your staff, you don't care. You don't go and claim 6 ringgit. Like 100 ringgit is...
Reduce that. For example, I only give you 23, but it's exceed 23. So the balance you pay sometimes is not $55.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like you only claim GST 3 ringgit. Yes. You must claim based on that.
that's right.
You understand? You only claim based on the amount that is incurred to your company. Don't claim the amount on total because you are getting reimbursement from your staff. Okay, so so netting off expenses against gross price, then charge GST at net price. For example, commission. Commission subject to GST, everyone knows. So be very clear about it. Not charging GST or management fees to its subsidiaries, which is not under GST group. Okay, if you are not under GST group, I must charge you GST, correct or not? You are not under the same group. If under the same group, GS code. If not under the same group, SR code. Correct? So management fees got GST or not? Got GST or not? Management fees? Yes. I thought you all be answering yes straight away. You understand, if holding company got charging management fees to subsidiary, must charge GST. You understand? These are all the common errors people do. Okay? Because you think, internal charge lah. There is no such thing. Alright? Must charge GST. It's still a service that you're providing to your subsidiary. Subsidiary, different entity, you are different entity. Not the same. Understand? Okay. Not accounting for GST on other income such as commission received. Wrong. Not accounting for GST on free use of office space and utilities provided to related companies. Remember, connected person. Alright? Omitting supply of labor or manpower. Okay, this is another thing. Some companies, what they do is, their staff go and work for another company. Okay? Work for another company. And then these people get the salary from that company to pay the staff. Alright? By actual fact, if that staff is under your payroll, when you supply labor, is providing of service. You must issue invoice for supply of manpower. So I normally tell the client, why you all must do all these things? It's very susah. ask the fella to join that company lah. Because sometimes it goes very long term. If short term, okay. Like 3 months, 6 months, not so bad. Some people 3 years, 5 years. Now let's ask the fella resign from here and go join there. Correct or not? Why do you all have to do that? Okay, mistaking standard rated service as international service when it is not. Export goods but no proper supporting documents cannot. Export goods, if you want to ZRE, you remember you must have customs documents. Understand? Must have. If you don't have customs document, the goods don't qualify as export. That's why I told you all so many times, if let's say you must see where is the consumption. Let's say you are ABC, Sendram Rahat. Then you got order from Japan, private limited. Okay, deliver to XYZ, Sendram Rahat. So this one DO, invoice to Japan. How are you going to charge? SR or ZR? My invoice is standard rated or zero rated? All say zero. I think I better tell Sadiq organize another 2 days class. Don't go back, stay here. Deliver where? DO I already say. Yeah. Invoice where? Invoice to Japan, but deliver local. So consume where? Local. Got custom documentation or not? How to zero? Correct or not? Very clear. 120 rate must have custom documentation. So this one, never export. No export. Local delivery. Don't use ZRL. Local delivery. But not local zero rated. You understand? So the invoice must have SR. I already told you just now. I don't care who is paying the money. As long as I deliver local, it's SR. Okay? Okay, let's take tea break. Okay, take a 20 minutes tea break, then we'll come back.